Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today's video is another story time. Before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give your girl a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias, Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok and Twitter at LifeWithSymone. Y'all, it's another story time. Let me make sure ain't nothing in my teeth because I just ate. Okay. Alright. So y'all, let's get into this story. So this story is about toxic. I gotta get comfortable because y'all, this is a wild story. It's not well, toxic is in the story, and this is a part 2 if you've seen the other one where it says she had me hanging out with, when y'all know when she had me with them peas. Ooh, let me get comfortable. I gotta put my knee up, y'all. So anyway, let me get straight into this story. So this is like the part 2 of that. So some weeks, well, not even some weeks, probably like 2 weeks went by and I haven't really talked to her. Like, we'll talk, but it'll be like one word. It wasn't really talking because after that whole situation, it was like, girl, you know, she tried to hit me up the next day to tell me like what happened and all that other stuff, but I wasn't really trying to hear it because I was just still irritated with her, right? So finally she hit me up. It was like 2 weeks later or whatever. She hit me up and oh yeah, y'all don't mind, I'm taking my nails off. I'm going to the nail shop in the morning. So she hit me up and she just like, what she said to me, so she had hit me up and she was just like, are you mad at me? And I'm like, no. Like, why you ask that? So she like, because ever since that day you haven't been talking to me. So then I'm like, oh yeah, duh, I'm not mad at you, but I do feel some type of way. So I told her like, I'm not mad, but I do feel some type of way because you knew from jump that he was on some weird shit and you still tried to link me with him. Like, that was weird. So she like, no, it wasn't like that, just trying to explain and stuff. So she like, I'm gonna come over your house or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. So she ended up coming over, we talking, she like, yeah, no, it wasn't like that, and let me tell y'all what happened. So y'all, let me tell y'all what happened. So she said the next day, because she had spent the night with him, which, y'all, she said she had spent the night with him, and then, y'all, when she said she spent like the next day, they tried to go to the bank, and they did the little bank thing in her name, whatever, her account, and she was like, yeah, he had gave me $100, and I'm like, all he gave you was $100, and she was like, but because it wasn't that big, but next play, I'm gonna get more than that, da-da-da. So I'm just thinking like, girl, what next play, because I'm pretty sure your bank account is closed by now. But anyway, she was just telling me like, yeah, it wasn't like that, he not on no shit like that, like he ain't gonna make you do nothing you don't want to do, da-da-da, you see, that's why he took you home. And I'm just like, well, girl, that's you, but I'm not dealing with him. Like, don't ever try to link, like, we're not linking with him no more ever. Well, I don't know what you gonna do, but I'm not linking with him or his friend, his dog, his cat, his uncles, his mama. I'm not linking with none of them. So she just like, all right. So she at my house, we chilling. She trying to get in contact with him because she was asking me like, can I drop her off over there like whenever he pick up? So he's not answering the phone, right? Of course. So I'm like, my little boo, that's when I was talking to Seven, he's like hitting me up, asking me what I'm doing. So I'm like, well, we was supposed to hang out with my, like, you know, my boo and his friends so you could meet one, like, so you want to just go over there? And she was like, all right, like, cool, we could go. We get ready and we go link with Seven or whatever. So we pull up on Seven. We pulled up to where he was at. He was at somebody's house. Shit, I don't know who it was, but it was a spot. Like, it wasn't a spot, but everybody was there. So he pulled up to this house or whatever. And y'all, it's crazy because I have another story time with my sister. Y'all know my sister, JTV. But I have another story time with her about at this house because I really don't know who house this was. It looked like it was like abandoned. Like, it was weird as shit. I don't know. Like, it had furniture. It was nice, but it was a lot of spider webs on the shit. So it was weird. It was like, did y'all leave and never come back? I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, so we pulled up to that house. So before we get out the car or whatever, when we pulling up over there, Toxic was like, this area looks so familiar. So I'm like, what's up with the area? Like, what's familiar about it? Like, you know, so she like, I talked to this boy that lived, like, that's from over here. So I'm like, oh, that live over here or that's from over here? Mind y'all, I felt like at that time I knew everybody who lived around here because I just felt like, you know, I've been in these areas. They know everybody. I know everybody, you know, hood princess. So I'm like, oh, who? Like, who is it? So she's like, oh, I don't remember his name. Like, but I'm like, you don't remember his name? But yeah, she's like, yeah, but I kicked it with him. Like, I spent the night with him. She telling me all this shit she done did with this man. So I'm like, when did this happen? Like, you know, I'm like, I probably know him. That's crazy. Like, he probably up in there. She like, nah, he ain't in there. So I'm like, how do you know? Like, we ain't went inside yet. So she like, he's not in there. So I'm like, okay, so who is it? Like, what he look like? She's like, I can't really say like what he looked like. He got a charger though. So I'm like, when did you meet him? And she was like a few days ago. So I'm like, do y'all not talk no more or what? So she like, well, we do kind of talk still, but like, it's not nothing serious because, you know, I talked to the other boy. So I'm like, so what is his name? Like, you know, at this point, I'm just like, this bitch is weird. And y'all, this year, a lot of people keep asking me about the story time when me and her fell out. And I'm telling these stories because all of these led up to it. So it's like, eventually, then I'm gonna go back to like all the other stuff that happened, but all of these led up to that, so y'all could see just how she just turned to a fucking weirdo. So I'm already peeping. I'm just like, she don't want to tell me who she talked to, which is weird as hell. It's not like when you tell me who you talk to, I'm gonna try to talk to him or something. Like I literally told you, we pull up to my boo because he live over here. You think I'm gonna talk to him and somebody? Girl, so she really not trying to tell me. It's not making no sense. You just spent the night with this man. You met him a few days ago. He drive a Charger. You don't know what he looked like or what's his name. So I'm like, that's kind of weird, Toxic, that you don't remember this man. She's like, I mean, I'm gonna hit him up right now. So I'm like, what do you got him stored under? Like, and she was just like, I'm about to just hit him up. So I'm just like, okay, this bitch is weird. Like, she's weird. So anyway, so he like, all right, y'all gonna come in the house or what? So we end up going in the house, y'all. The house, it was like the spot or whatever like that. Yeah, like I said, it was like the spot or whatever. So we up in there, we chilling, we talking, we vibing and all this other stuff. So Seven come over there. Because where we was sitting down at, he was still like in the kitchen part talking to his friends. So he come over there where we was at, and he just like, oh, like I didn't introduce myself. Like, my name is Seven. What's your name? So she's like, oh, my name is, like, let's say her name was Toxic, but she said her name was like Toxinasia or something. Like, she did that most extra this shit. But when she said it to him, I'm peeping like the way she do. She's like, my name is Toxinasia. And it's like, no, it's not, girl. It's just Toxic. So she doing all of that. So he like, oh, okay, all right, nice to meet you. So he like, all right, what y'all was doing or whatever, like what y'all was on. So she was like, we was just pulling up on people in traffic. I said, I'm like, I was at home chilling. You called me, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna pull up or whatever. So she was just like, yeah, but we was pulling up on people too. Girl, so I'm sitting here peeping her, like, why is she doing all of this? Like, is this the nigga, is this the man you was talking to? Did you text him and tell him? But he didn't have a charger, but she was just, the way she was lying about not remembering the person name, it was just giving weird. So I'm like, nah, like, I wasn't on nothing though. So he like, let me find out you was pulling up on other, like, you know, other men. And I'm like, nah, I wasn't pulling up on nobody. Like, even though that's not my boo, but my boyfriend, but he was just playing with me. He didn't really give a fuck, honestly. He really, I don't think gave a care. So I'm like, nah, I wasn't, like, you know, I was just chilling, like, you know, like, I don't know, I used to be so shy around him or whatever. So he just like, okay, all right, whatever. So he was like, yeah, like, do you know anybody here? Like, you know anybody? So she like, nah, I don't know nobody, but I'll get to know somebody. She told me you got homies for me. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm sitting there like, what's up with her? Like, why is she being weird? So she was like, yeah, you told me, she told me you got homies for me or whatever, like you said. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna put one of my homeboys on you. I'm gonna put one of my homeboys on you. And he walked off. So I'm talking to her. I'm like, girl, like, you see anybody you like or whatever up in here? And she was like, I don't know. She was like, he kind of cute. So I'm like, who? Like, looking, like, which one? She was like, the one you talked to. I said, girl, stop playing with me. Because at this point, I'm thinking, like, she's being weird. So I'm like, stop playing with me. So I'm like, oh, do you want me to ask him, do he know the boy you know? Because at this point, I'm really in my head thinking, like, let me find out you talk to Seven, because you being real weird right now. And with him, it's kind of hard to tell because he put up a poker face. Like, it was once... never mind. Anyway, I'm just like, oh, okay, like, yeah, like, I know y'all probably gonna think I'm weird for saying that, like, should I ask, do he know the nigga she talked to? But I was like, I don't care. But she's like, nah, like, so I'm like, do he gangbang or whatever? Like, I wonder if they know him or whatever. She like, nah, like, he probably do. I think he do gangbang, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm not really sure. He said cuz one time, but I can't really be sure. So I'm just like, okay. So I'm like, all right, do you see anybody in here that you think is cute? So she like, him over there, and then she like, and then that one over there, they cute. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So Seven start walking back. He walking back with neither two of the people she pointed at. He walking back with somebody else. So he like, oh, what's up? Like, what's up? So I'm like, what's up, you? Hey. And she like, oh, what's up to her? Like, what's your name? And she was just like, Toxic. I'm like, oh, she not Toxinae no more? Like, this bitch ain't got the long name. So she like, oh, okay, like, nice to meet you. Okay, you got a man? Like, you got a N-word? So she like, yeah, I do. I'm like, so Seven's standing there, and he looking, and he just smiling, and he's smiling at me. And he was like, dang, I thought you wanted me to plug you with one of my homeboys. And she was like, well, I think I talked to one of your homeboys or whatever. Do you know such and such? And she said the name. So he was like, who? And she was like, such and such. So he like, oh, like, I don't know him, but he live in the hood. Like, he's not from our hood, but he live in the hood. Like, I know who you talking about. Like, we know him, but he's not from where we from, like he not from here. So she like, well, he's from LA, but he's not from they hood. So she like, oh yeah, that's my friend or whatever, like he real cool. She was like, but I talked to somebody that's from the east side. I ain't gonna say which projects, but she said the exact project. She like, I talked to somebody from there. She like, that's where my boyfriend is from though. Do y'all get along with them? But she talking to 7, so he like, oh, like we don't really got issues with them or whatever, like it's no beef. And she was just like, oh, okay, like yeah, he cool or whatever, his name is da 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 da. And he like, oh, okay, like, you know, like, okay. So I'm sitting here like, no, this bitch didn't. You remember the man name when you want to tell them you talked to somebody over here, but you didn't remember the name when I was asking you, like, why are you being so weird? So he like, oh, okay, like, you know, he just like making a small talk. So the other boy was like, oh, if you got a nigga, I'm finna move from over here. He like, why you didn't tell me? Like, 7, you should have told me she got a nigga, she off limits, like, you know. So he walked away, and 7 like, oh, I'm gonna be right back, so I'm finna go outside to go do something real quick. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, Toxic, you remember his name now? Like, is she like, girl, don't do that. She was like, I told you I was texting him and I just asked him. So I'm like, you asked him his name and you was just text? Like, come on. This bitch is lying. Mind you, she was on her phone, but this bitch was on Instagram scrolling. Like, why are you lying? Why are you lying? Like, I was just like, she's so weird. So she just like, yeah, like, I just asked him, like, because the boy he brung over here, I don't want to talk to him. Like, he's not cute. I don't want to talk to nobody over here. Like, he not cute at all. Like, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, you could have just said that. Like, you know, why are you even bringing up the boy from the east side? She's like, because I didn't want to talk to him. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, all right, because she kind of like getting loud. She's like, so I'm just thinking like, it's not that deep. Like, you doing too much. If you don't want to talk to him, just say you don't want to talk to him. Or you could have just been dry with him. You didn't have to talk to him, but not you trying to be weird about it. Like, you being weird towards me. Like, you don't gotta talk to the boy. I really don't care. Like, you know. So she's like, yeah, I just don't want to talk to him. Like, I'm gonna talk to one of his other homeboys. She was like, because like, I seen y'all. So 7, let me tell y'all. So 7, I was gonna say her name. So 7 and Toxic went to high school together, but 7 don't remember Toxic at all. Like, they never talked. They don't know each other. He don't know her, but they went to the same school together. So Toxic like, yeah, I went to the same school. I was gonna say school. She like, I went to that school with him. She was like, so I know he be with different people. Like, none of these people in this house is anybody I would talk to. Like, I rather talk to his other homeboys. Mind you, we both, him, because he's older than me, been out of high school for years now. So why do you remember, like, how you know they even still cool? So this is where I'm really thinking, because when I told her about 7, she made it seem like she did not know him. She like, oh, no, I don't know him. Like, I ain't never seen him before. But all of a sudden now you went to high school with him and you want to talk to one of his other homeboys that was in high school with him. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, like, do you know who? Because then I could ask. I'll know. I wonder if he still hang out with that person. So she like, oh, like, I don't really know. I'm not good with names. So I'm like, let me go to his Instagram. Because since you don't know people, but now you know people. So I'm going through his Instagram and I'm like, him? Is it him? Like, which one is it? It's kind of coming off a little weird probably, because at this point I was just kind of irritated. I don't know why I let that irritate me. I just let it just irritated me bad, because it's like, girl, first, you did not know him. When I asked you, when I first was telling her about 7, I said his name, all that like that, and I had showed her a picture of him like the weeks before we even linked with her weird ass boyfriend, nigga, boy, whatever, I don't know what he is. Before we even linked with him, she said she didn't know 7. She didn't know. She was like, oh, cool, like, yeah, I don't know nobody from that side, like, you know, even though, I'm like, oh, I even told her, like, yeah, he went there, da da. She like, oh, you know, I didn't even go to that school for that long, I don't know. Yeah, but all of a sudden we at this house and now you like, oh, you don't want none of these homeboys, but you pick another one. Fine. Then what irritated me is that the fact that she didn't want to tell me, you telling me the area looked familiar, but you don't want to tell me the boy name that you was talking to, but you said to him, which was weird. Like, that was just so weird, because I'm just like, why is she being weird? Like, it just was giving weird. So 7 ended up finally come back in the house, and he like just, you know, making small talk to me or whatever, and she just keeps trying to like jump in the conversation. I don't remember exactly what me and him was talking about, but every time like he's talking to me, she keeps trying to jump in the conversation. Mind you, it's not like she could just feel like she was third wheeling or something like that, because before he came in the house, it was other people right there talking to us, so we all just having a conversation. But he came and just started talking to me only, but the whole conversation was still going. So why are you jumping out of that conversation to come get in this conversation when this is an A and B? See your way out of it. You know, like, get out of here, Toxic. This ain't about you. So I was kind of annoyed. Then I thought about it. I'm like, I'm hungry. So this is probably why I'm really more irritated. You know, y'all ever know, like, when you hungry? Like, for me, when I'm hungry, I can't do nothing right. Like, I can't do my hair. I can't record. I can't do nothing until I eat. Like, if I'm hungry, I can't do anything. So I'm thinking, like, okay, maybe I'm hangry right now. Like, I'm hungry, you know, like, maybe it's not her. Maybe I just need to eat something. So I was all like, 7, I'm about to go get me something to eat because I'm hungry. So he like, okay, where you about to go? So I'm like, all right, I'm about to go to Wingstop. So he's like, all right, cool. Like, which one you going to? And I told him, like, oh, this one open late, so we just gonna go to this one. And this one is good anyway. Like, it don't be that packed, so they food be good. Like, it be fresh. So he like, okay, all right. Okay. Like, so I'm like, all right, do you want something back? So he like, oh, I might pull up over there. Okay, mind you, the Wingstop I was going to was in a hood that he didn't get along with. So I don't know why he was pulling up there. Like, when you could just tell me what you want and I would have got it for you. Which, y'all, made no sense. I guess he just wanted me to see whoever's car he was in that night, because it was a nice car, but you could have like did a donut in the street before I left or something. You didn't have to do all of this. But yeah, so we walk outside. He like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna call you. Just call me when you get there. I'm gonna probably pull up. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I leave. Mind you, the Wingstop wasn't that far. In LA, it's hoods everywhere. So it's like 1 minute you could be in your hood, you be across the street, you in the enemy's hood. Like, you better run back over across the street. So it's like, it's not that I went far out of my way. Like, the Wingstop literally was not that far at all. So I pull up, I call him, I'm like, hey, like, we parking. For some reason, I don't know why we didn't park in Wingstop parking lot. Was it packed or something? I don't know, but we parked in this parking lot across the street. So I'm like, yeah, we get out the car. The parking lot we was in across the street. It had a lot of other cars. So we get out the car, we walking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go inside a Wingstop. Like, did you want something? So he like, I'm right here. So I'm like, where you at? So next thing you know, we walking. Mind you, we walking, and it's like 2 girls and 2 boys. They walking too, but they walking slow, and they walking behind us. So we're walking, and I'm like, where you at? Like, you know, I'm on the phone. I'm just like laughing. He like, I'm about to cross the street, and he speeds past me and like hit the corner. Like, did some extra out stuff. So I'm laughing, me and her laughing, like, oh, I'm like, he play too much, like, he's weird. Like, you know, at this point, I hung up. He not on the phone hearing me calling him weird. But I'm like laughing, we laughing, like, oh, he play too much. So the girl was like, damn. The people that was behind us, she like, damn. And the boy, he like, what the fuck? So I'm not hearing him, but I'm not really hearing him because me and her is laughing and talking to each other. So now he like he turned around. Mind you, all this happening so fast. He turned around and he drive by again, and he scream out his hood. Like, he screamed his hood out. So I'm just like, he's dumb. Like, you know, we just laughing. So we walk inside of Wingstop. When we walk inside of Wingstop, it's somebody in there already placing their order or whatever. So we get in line behind them. So we laugh, and we just laughing. I'm like, girl, what you finna get? Like, you know, we talking. So the people that was behind us, the boy and the girl, it was one boy that was just shook. He was shook. Like, that whole little situation outside shook him bad. Like, it shook him like Carly Red was shaking that table with K. Michelle. So he was like, what the fuck? Them niggas try to hit us. You seen that? Them niggas try to hit us. They try to run us over. And she was just like, they was doing too much, da-da-da. So the other boy was like, yeah, them niggas was weird. Where them niggas from? Where they said they was from? You heard him say his hood? So he like, yeah, them niggas, da-da-da-da-da. Them, da-da-da. Like, he just talking shit. So I'm like peeping it, but I'm just thinking, like, what is he talking about? Like, what? Like, you know, like, he can't be talking about that situation that just happened, because clearly you know, they was not doing nothing. They didn't even notice them like that. Like, you know, whatever. So I'm just whatever. So we just talking. So then Toxic was all like, nobody was trying to run y'all over. Like, she just started talking. So he was like, what, bitch? And at this point, I'm like, what? Like, you know, like, what? Who is he talking to? Because now it's like, what? So I'm like, what? So he was like, what, bitch? What you say? So she was like, nobody was trying to run you over. Nobody was even talking to y'all. So he was like, man, fuck da 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 da. He said the hood that 7 had yelled out the window, which was his hood. So like, fuck da da da. This is blah blah blah. I ain't gonna say the hoods or whatever like that, because things went left. So he like, this blah blah blah. He was like, you must be from that hood. Like, he's saying like, you must be from blank, but he dissing it or whatever. So she like, man, so I'm like, calm down, like nobody was even doing nothing to y'all. He's like, nah, y'all bitches trying to set me up. Y'all trying to set me up. I see what the fuck going on. I see what's going on. Y'all trying to set me up. So the girl, she just like standing there, like the two girls, they just standing there. And the other boy, he was all like, man, this shit weird. Come on, let's go back to the car. So they leave out and I'm just like, what the fuck? That was so weird. Like, he's weird. Like, you know, they're weird, right? We stand there, we like, now we just talking, we still waiting because for some reason these people in front of us is taking so long. So finally they like moved out the way and we about to take our, like we about to give them our order or whatever. So I called 7 again, like, hey, did you want something or whatever? So he's like, nah, I ain't want nothing, like I'm good. So next thing you know, the people walk back in, the two girls and the two guys. Now they walked in with some big OG gang banged out man, face tats from his eyebrow to his asshole. He was like gang banged out. Now I could talk about it and laugh, but y'all, this moment was not a laughing moment. They walk back in. So he like, there go them bitches that try to set me up. There go them blank bitches, like this in the hood that 7-year-old through the window that tried to set me up. There they go right there. So he walked over there and he was like, man, on blah, blah, blah. Y'all try to set the little homeboys up. Y'all try to set the little homeboys up. And he was like something. He was like, I had these bitches attacked right now. I had them attacked right now. So I'm like, what are you talking about? We did not try to have nobody set up. Like, we don't even know none of these people. We just trying to get something to eat. Like, nobody's trying to have them set up. He was like, them niggas try to run us over. Like, the boy that was doing the most at first, he like, them niggas try to run us over. They try to run us over and they yelled at fuck our hood, like they dissed our hood. So he like, they dissed our hood, the OG. And I'm just like, didn't nobody even say that? Like, you know, I'm like, no, it wasn't like that. I'm like, he was playing with us and like, it wasn't like that. I'm like, that's somebody that was trying to get our attention and he was just playing, doing too much with us. So he like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. He did. So y'all from blah, blah, blah. Y'all some blank, blank, blank bitches. So I'm like, it's no reason to do all of that. So Toxic like, first of all, y'all don't need to be yelling and talking shit to us. So the boy that was extra out, he like, I'll knock you out right now, bitch. I'll knock you out right now. So I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, y'all doing too much. It is not that serious. Like, then nobody is trying to set y'all up. Like, you know, I'm trying to like tell this to them. So why the boy that was extra out, he pulls out a gun. Him and Big OG, tatted from the eyebrows to the booty hole. They pull out guns, y'all. I know now I'm smiling. It's really wild, but I was not smiling there. Trust me. They pull out guns. He said, I would kill you. I mean, I will unalive you right now, bitch. I will unalive you right now. So I'm like, y'all, I froze. I cannot lie. I froze. So Toxic was like, you're doing too much. Girl, this man got a, you could tell for one, the boy that was doing the most, you could tell he was off something. You could tell he was on something bad. Like his eyes, like pupils just popping out and shit. You could tell he was on something real heavy. This man is not giving not one fuck at all. He's paranoid as shit and think we trying to set him up. I'm not trying to say the wrong thing that's gonna have this man do some crazy stuff to us. Like, it's not, girl, why are you still going back and forth with him? At this point, it doesn't matter what we say. He feel like whatever he feel like. But it's like, why? It's like, have them pull back up. If they pull back up, I'm gonna unalive you and them. I'm gonna unalive y'all first, and I'm gonna put y'all, and I'm gonna get y'all to them. And I'm gonna unalive, like, he was just talking crazy, and I'm just like, what? So I'm like, no, we don't even know them. I'm like, they was trying to get our attention and they was just playing too much. It is not nothing like that. I don't think they was trying to target y'all or nothing. He was just trying to be playing too much with us. So he like, nah, y'all trying to set me up. Y'all trying to, so she like, my cousin is from your hood. Da. So he like, bitch, fuck your cousin. It's your cousin? So she's like, my cousin. And she said her cousin's birth name, her cousin's government name. And he like, I don't know that. Like, he going in. And he like, I should kill y'all right now. He pulled the gun up and was like, what's gonna stop me from you right now killing y'all? Why are y'all in the hood? So I'm froze. I am froze. Like, so I'm grabbing her. I'm like, toxic, like, just stop. So where the girls that was with them, they start feeling so bad because he like, the big OG, he like, knock them she's out. We should knock y'all she's out right now. Y'all, the girl that was, one of the girls that was with them, she's like damn near finna cry. Me too. I'm shaking. I'm froze. Like, I'm so scared because it's like this man has a gun. They this close in our face, just yelling. It's like, at first it was like, you know, but when you pulled out strap, both of y'all put out strap on two females in a Wingstop, it's like, what is going on? Wingstop employees did not do a thing. So I'm just like, y'all. So, I'm shaking right now. My leg over here shaking while I'm telling the story. So, y'all, I'm like, the girl that was with them, she's damn near finna cry. So she's like, stop, stop, like saying his name, saying his hood name. So she's like, stop, stop, please. They didn't have nothing to do with it. Like, I don't think they're lying. So the big homeboy was like, you don't think they lying? Do you think they lying? Do you think they sent us up? She's like, no, I don't think they're lying. They didn't have nothing to do with it. It was probably a misunderstanding. Like, leave them alone. Please just leave them alone. Like, they didn't have nothing to do with it. Y'all, if it wasn't for that girl, I don't know what they would have done to us. I really don't know. Cause Toxic just like da-da-da. And then this what made me mad about Toxic. I almost missed the part. So when they going back and forth, and I'm just like, Toxic, stop, like just stop, cause she trying to say her cousin from this area, and he's like, I don't know her. She probably from that. He just swerving down. We was from where Seven was from. And when she was saying that, he really was like, y'all spit on you. I'll spit on you right now. I'll spit on you. But how he's talking so spit is coming out his mouth and flying like damn near all over us. Like, so he just going crazy, fist balled up. Thing. He kept putting it up too. Like, kept putting up like, what's stopping me? You right now? What's stopping me from blowing right now? Like, he's going crazy. And Toxic was like, and that's when I was like, that's when I had said like, it wasn't like that. That was just somebody that was trying to get our attention, not playing too much, da da da. Toxic gonna say, that was her boyfriend. He's not worried about y'all. Bitch. I just tried to make it seem like he was just some random man and trying to get our attention. Why would you say that was my boyfriend? Huh? What? So he like, that's your boyfriend? That's your boyfriend? Oh, tell him to pull up right now. Like, oh, y'all is trying to set up. So the big homie's like, that's your nigga? That's your nigga? Tell your nigga to come save you right now. Cause we gon' in front of him. So I'm like, that's not my boyfriend. Like, shaking, like, why the fuck did this bitch say this shit? So I'm irritated. So I'm like, would you say that was my boyfriend? You know, but I'm froze, but I'm just like talking shit to her. And it probably didn't come out like that. It probably came out all cracky and like scared. But I'm like, why would you say that's my boyfriend? That's not your boyfriend. I don't know him. So she's like, da da da. She's just still talking. So he like, y'all. That's when he started going crazy, and then she just got quiet. She got quiet, and I'm quiet. We just froze. He's still going in. He pulling it up. He like da-da-da-da, putting our face. I'm over here trying to think like, damn, how the movies go when you grab it and swirl it back around. I'm just like, I ain't even trying none of that shit. But y'all, I was scared for my life. I know I'm laughing right now. I don't know. I get it. I don't know. It's so weird to me. I be laughing at bad stuff that happened. It's not like I'm laughing about it, but you know, sometimes you just gotta smile through pain, I guess. Anyway, so he's doing the most, y'all. He's doing the most, and that's when the girls start calming him down. When she seen he start going crazy. He was going crazy. Like, mind you, I told y'all we was right there placing our order. He pushing stuff off the shit. He's doing the most. He so much on us to where we had to back up, to where we backed up so fucking close to that damn thing, to where it's like, I might as well lay it on the counter and roll over into the kitchen and ran out the back door. That's how close up on us he was. Like, he was going crazy. He hitting shit with the thing, and he hitting it like the soda machine was right here. He hitting it with the thing. It was like, he's going crazy. And I told you, I looked like he was on something. So him and the short little OG homeboy, they going crazy as hell. They going crazy. The other boy that was with them, he's not doing too much. And the other girl, they was just kind of like off to the side. But the one girl, she really like, I'm like, thank God for her that she was there, because she really was like, stop, please. I don't think they lying. I don't think they lying. Because he really was like, I should have these bitches attack you. Like, I'm just thinking like, dang, like, okay, we could fight them girls. But I mean, I know they gonna jump in. I know the guys was gonna jump in too. But I'm like, but when you start bringing out the thing, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Y'all, when I tell y'all, I was so thankful for that girl, because she like, I don't think they had nothing to do with it. Like, just stop, please stop. And that was clearly her man's, and she clearly know that her man's is not all the way there in the head. So it's like, I'm happy that she was there and really just stopped him. Like, he was like, okay, he was like, since they don't know him, like, let's go, because we don't know, they might pull back up. So let's go. Like, we sitting right here, we sitting ducks, like, let's leave. So he like, all right, I'm asking you one more time. You don't know them? And I'm like, no, we don't know them. Like, we don't know them. So he was like, okay, all right, you believe them? And he asked her, she's like, I believe them. I don't think they know them. Like, I believe them. Let's go. Let's just go. So the big homie was like, this on you, like talking to the girl, because she clearly was from there too. He said her name. He was like, this on you. If you trust them and then some shit happen, that's on you. And she like, I trust them. Like, look at them. They don't even look like they like that. Like, come on, let's just go. So he like, all right, let's go before they pull back up, like with an army. Let's go get our army. So I said, they talk about going to war. Y'all, when I was so mad, because it's like, damn, Wingstop, y'all couldn't call the police. None. Like, somebody couldn't go back to the refrigerator and call the cops. Like, y'all ain't got a gun behind there. Like, They don't get y'all okay, let me stop. I know they don't get them one, but damn, I'm just like, y'all, when they left, when I said I was shaking so bad, I could not stop shaking. Like, I'm shaking so fucking bad. I'm shaking. My heart is beating so hard. And I was just started crying. Like, when they left out the door, I'm crying. She's crying. She was already crying at this point. I was crying. I don't know why the tears did not fall until they left out the door. I just was shaking. I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm crying. And I'm trying to walk the girl at Wingstop. She's like, that was so crazy. What is going on? Like, what the fuck? Why'd you stand there the whole time? Like, you could have secretly called the police or something and said there's some crazy. Like, you could have said this. I mean, she could. I don't want her to like get herself involved at all, you know, because you know he could have probably been fired oh, you snitching shot. I don't know, but y'all could have secretly did something. She stood there like it was like she was watching the Maury Show live. She stood there like. They just stood there. Everybody, they stopped cooking. They just stood there. The people on Wingstop, some people that was up in there left. They was like, fuck that shit. They left. So I'm crying. This lady come up to us and she was like, are you okay? Y'all get out of here. Y'all get out of here right now. Like, oh my God, y'all get out of here. I'm going to call the police on them and tell them their car. Like, y'all get out of here. So I'm like, okay. Like, I'm like so sad. I'm looking out the window though because I'm like, they didn't see what car I came from. And I drive in areas I would never want them to see my car and be like, oh, there she go, and this hothead Nick start just airing my car out. So I'm like, oh my God, okay, like I'm waiting for them to go because she's like, get out of here, y'all, get out of here right now. I'm like, I just want to make sure they leave before I hop in my car. Like, I want to make sure. So then this man that was in there, he like, y'all want me to walk? I'll walk y'all to y'all car. It was an older man, like not that much older, but he was like probably a good 10 older than me. So he like, I'll walk out to y'all car. That was fucked up. I don't like that. Nigga, they all are females. Y'all are women. They never supposed to disrespect a woman like that. And da-da-da. I'm just thinking like, where were you? You know, like Keisha Cole said, where were you? Because now you feel like it was disrespectful. He's like, nah, because if that was, I wanted to knock them out. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. And I'm just thinking like, man, shut up, superhero. Like, just walk us to the car. So he walked to the car and I'm like, just get away from the car. Like, go. So I'm in there. I'm like, oh my God. It was the most awkward as I'm driving. So Seven just so happened because the whole time that was going down, he was calling my phone, but I kept pushing aside to like ignore the phone call. So I finally end up answering the phone. Y'all, why when we driving down the street, we leaving, it's like police everywhere, police every fucking where. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, what if something happened? Like, so now that's what made me want to answer the phone call from Seven. Come out, he blowing my phone up and we see police everywhere. Police got the street blocked off with tape and all this. But that was something totally different. It was a badass car accident, which somebody was being chased. Y'all, let me just say this. The situation with the car accident, because the people ended up dying that was in the car, it was a big thing. Like, very, like a lot of people knew about this situation, right? So I don't know how connected these events was because, mind y'all, they left. We was in Wingstop still for a cool minute after they left, because I was so scared to leave. So that happened, and it just so happened the situation that happened was some other gang members, right, from somewhere or whatever, right? Crazy situation. They end up dying. Like, it was like a car chase type shit with like 2 different hoods. I don't know. They say somebody shot. I really don't know. So crazy situation, right? So I end up calling, I end up answering Seven call because he's calling me and I see it taped off. So I'm like, what the fuck going on? So I call him. I answer and I'm crying. He's like, what's happened? Like, what happened? Why are you crying? And he like, did you just see the shit that happened right there? So I'm thinking like, how did you know about the shit that happened right here? If you, like, not in Wingstop, but about the car accident. So I'm just like, where are you? Like, where you at? So I'm like, did you see them people? I'm telling him what happened. And he like, oh yeah, what happened? Like, what's going on? Why are you crying? So I'm telling him everything that happened. So he like, what the fuck? Come over here. Like, come over here or whatever. So I go back over, like, we go back over there and I'm just like shook up. And he like, man, that's not cool, whatever. He's like, you should have told them niggas who I was. You should have told them that I'm blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah. Sir, what? Why would I do that? So then I was so irritated with him. I'm not even gonna lie, because he was like, you should have told them I'm one of them. I'm one of them. If they wanted war, they wanted war. I'm like, he had a gun in our face. Why'd I blank out face? He had a thing in our face, and I'm like, and he was threatening to do this because he really felt like we set him up. So I'm like, why would I tell him I knew you? So then he really could have felt like we would set him up for whatever reason because I don't even know you. And how I knew he was going to be at Wingstop right then and there. I don't even know you. So I'm like, we really know. Why would I do that? So he like, man, you should have told them. So you should have told them because now if I go after him because of this shit, I want him to know who coming. So I'm like, what? I was so irritated telling him, and it just kind of irritated me that he would say some stupid shit like that. Like, I should have said who he was. So at this point, I'm like, I just want to go home. Like, it's just been too much going on. I want to go home. So when he get out the car, y'all, I'm getting into it with Toxic. I'm like, bitch, why the fuck would you say that was my boyfriend? You seen he trying to say we trying to set him up, and I'm saying I don't know him. Like, we don't know him. Why would you say that? She's like, because maybe he would leave us alone if he realized that he was just playing. So I'm like, you're weird as, like, we really getting into it bad. We're getting into it bad. So I'm like, where do you want me to take you? Because she came to my house, but she had got dropped off. She ain't had no car. So I'm like, where do you want me to take you? Because you're not coming to my house. Like, you're weird. I'm cool on you right now. Like, you keep doing weird shit. I'm like, you've been weird this whole night. Like I'm just cool. Where do you want me to take you? So she like, can you take me to the east side? Like, you drive me off at the east side because I'm not going home. So I'm like, whatever. So, man, awkward ride. I drive her over there to the east side. And I dropped her off with old boy, right? I dropped her off at his house, right? So I pulled off. I didn't even wait for her to get in the house. I pulled off. I don't care. I pulled off left fast, right? So I go home, right? This was just a real eventful ass motherfucking day. So I go home and I had put on Twitter about what happened. What happened, where I was at, all this other stuff, right? This is when I say, sometimes gangbangers irritate the God of me. Because I'm not a gangbanger, not a gang member. I know people gonna be like, you should never date anyone. That doesn't mean that I mean, yeah, anyway. So it irritated me, so I put it on there. So this boy that was from Seven Hood that I knew, that was cool with, he was like, Seven just told me what happened. Like, he told me that them blank seen him do some shit, and now they on his head like he like whatever. So, because mind y'all, when we was in there and they was talking shit, one of them did mention Seven name. Like, he did mention like, oh, I think that was that blank. I think that was from Seven from blah, blah, blah. But the other guy was just like, it was just so much going on to where it's like that day. So he like, yeah, why you didn't tell Seven so he could pull back up on them? So I said, what? He said, why you didn't tell Seven when everything happened so Seven could have pulled back up on him? He was like, now, like, Negroes. He like, now, them niggas, sorry, I can't. So he like, now them blank, them men, now them young men from that hood got beef with Seven. He was all like, and they gonna try to catch him slipping on some shit when Seven could have pulled up and handled his shit right then and there. So I said, why the fuck during all that, sir, hold on, put your thing down, let me call him, the person you think I'm trying to set you up, and tell him to pull back up, because now y'all gonna try to catch him slipping. For one, I don't know. I really don't know if Seven seen them or not. He probably did see them. That's probably why he did that. Because why did you do all of that and scream your hood out? Why did you do all that? For one, you knew that wasn't a hood you should be in anyway. But anyway, so I'm irritated. So I was just like, what the he's weird. So I might finna tweet back to him. But I did put on Twitter, I'm not about to risk anything happen to me for no nigga. I don't give a fuck nobody but Toxic, I was gonna say her name, understand what the fuck happened to us in there. And y'all, I was just so mad. After that, I just stopped tweeting because I was just like, he's so weird. Like, how would you sit there and tell me that I should have did this or that? Like, what? Like, I'm just like, y'all are some real fucking idiots. Like, bitch, you're dumb. For one, if Seven did see them and that's why he did that, that's on him. He knew what the fuck he did. But Seven wasn't mad at me. It's not like he was mad at me like, oh, you should have. He just was like, oh, you should have told them who the car was. And it's like, boy, you sound stupid as hell too. Like, what? So anyway, y'all, some time go by, hours go by. I'm in my room. I like talking to people, telling people what happened. I got on the phone with Stank. I told her what happened. I'm just still shooken up. Like, every time I'm talking about it, I'm just crying. Like, I'm just so sad. I'm just shooken up. Like, I don't know. Like, this shit is scary as hell. I'm scared to go anywhere because, like, what if when I go somewhere they see me and think like, oh, we gonna get you now? Like, I don't know, because now Seven talking about, oh, when I see them, since they worried about me now, I'm like, I don't want it to be like, I just don't know. Like, I was just so scared. I was so paranoid. So I'm talking to Stank. Mind you, whole time I'm on the phone with Stank, it was probably like 2 hours passed by since I dropped off Toxic. I was gonna say her name. So she blowing my phone up. She kept just calling me. First she texted me like, what you doing? I didn't reply. She called me. I didn't want to talk to her. So I'm like, Stank, why the fuck Toxic keep blowing me up, talking about, first she was like, what I'm doing. Now she just won't stop calling my phone. I'm like, she's so fucking annoying. Like, girl, I don't want to deal with you right now. So she like, yeah, she's weird. Like, she's weird as hell. She was all like, oh, I'm gonna go on Twitter and put I'm on the phone with you, so she could realize like that you ignore her. So I'm like, girl, I don't care. So she put she was on the phone with me. So Toxic ended up commenting under finna say these people's name. Toxic ended up commenting under Stank's tweet and was like, tell Symone to call me. It's important. Like, tell her to answer. It's important right now. So she was like, she talking about it's important. Like, she was commenting under my tweet when I was on the phone with you. So I'm just like, what the fuck do she want? Like, what does she want? Like, but then now I'm starting to get paranoid and start overthinking, like, what if they kidnap Toxic and she's gonna tell them where I live so that she could be free? Like, I don't know. And I'm just thinking, like, I hope that Eastside nigga done saved her, because what is going on? Like, what if that Eastside man made Toxic get on the blade, and then Toxic got kidnapped by the gang members, and then, y'all, I was just thinking it's crazy. So I'm like, oh my god, okay, hold on, I'm about to call her. So Stank like, put it on three-way. Like, I'm gonna just mute my phone. So I'm like, girl, whatever. So I end up calling her. I put it on three-way. So I'm like, hello. She was like, Symone. She's screaming, crying. So I'm like, what? Now my heart is getting fast. Like, they got her. So I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? What? She's like, please come get me. So I'm like, no. I was like, no, because girl, what? Oh, hell no. I know y'all probably thinking like you wasn't gonna save your friend. Why would you call me? Fuck, call the police, girl. Why would you call me on your one phone call? When you get one phone call, you gonna call me? Like, that was wild. Like, what? So I'm just like, no, like, you know, because I'm scared. I'm like, and then I was like, and she's like, Symone, police. So I'm like, where are you? Like, what's going on? I'm like, calm down, what's going on? So then I hear somebody in the background like, bitch, get your motherfucking ass away from my house. So I'm like, wait, that sounds like the East Side one. So I'm like, Toxic, what's going on? So at this point, I'm on the phone talking to her. Stank is texting me like, bitch, what's going on? And I'm just like, stop texting me. So I'm like, where are you? What's going on? She was like, I'm where you dropped me off at. Can you come get me? Please come get me. Just please. She's like, he put his hands on me. Please come get me. So you just hear people yelling, talking. And she was like, please. I'm about to just walk up the street. Like, please, I'm going to just walk down the street towards like whatever the way you should be driving to come. Just please come get me, please. So I'm like, fuck. Okay, I'm coming right now. Y'all, how mad I was at her because she was so weird. I was like, I cannot leave her in a situation like that. I'm like, she said he put his hands on her. I cannot leave her like that. Like, I just couldn't. And I'm just like, y'all, even though I just couldn't leave her like that. So even though she could have got my brains blew though, but I'm just like, I couldn't leave her like that. So I hopped in my car real quick. I'm like, I'm coming right now. It's just like, okay. Like, if I don't answer, just keep coming. Like, you should see me walking down the street. I'm gonna just be walking. But she's crying, like, you know. So I'm like, all right, I'm coming right now. So I get off. So like, she hang up the phone. I get off the phone with her. Next thing you know, I'm talking to Stank. I'm like, Stank, what the fuck? She's like, girl, after this, she said, after you get her and take her home, stay in the house. She's like, because this is weird. Like, y'all night is crazy. I'm like, I'm staying in the house. And it's so crazy because, okay, let me finish the story first. So I'm driving. And I'm pulling up and I see, like, I'm driving and I kind of see somebody. I'm trying to look. The neighborhood is dark as shit. And I like passed by his house, and then I remember, like, when I passed by his house, I remember she said she was gonna be walking. So I'm like, oh shit. So I turned around and I'm trying to look like, see if I see her. Then I see somebody that's like creeping, like, but like hiding behind cars and stuff. So I'm like, that must be her. So I pulled up and I was like, Toxic. And she's like, Symone. So she runs to the car. She hops in the car. And she's like, drive. So I'm like, what happened? Face just messed up. I'm like, girl, what happened? Like, at this point, I'm crying for her. Like, I'm crying. I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? She's like, girl, we was in there sleep. All right, let me talk regular. So she like, but she was crying though. So she like, girl, we was in there sleep. She was like, you know, like, I got there. She was like, and we ate and we blanked. Y'all know, and the roaches probably was watching. But she was like, and we went sleep. She was like, I was sleeping there. She was like, and his baby mama came and busted in the room and just started beating me up. The girl beat her up out of her sleep, like, and it's crazy because it's I know somebody else said that happened too, but y'all, I'm just like, what? Y'all remember in the first story when his baby mom was at the house and he didn't want to stay there. So I'm like, he's like, yeah, she beat me up. She just started beating me up. She was like, then she was cussing him out. She was like, then she had a bat. She trying to hit him with the bat. She was like, so then he's like, nah, I don't fuck with this bitch. This bitch is weird. This bitch was trying to for me. I'm like, toxic. And she like, I know, and I never was gonna do that for him. Like, I never said, oh, let me talk regular. She like, I never said I was gonna do no shit like that for him. I was just gonna do the bank stuff so I get money too. And she was like, and he just really disrespected me. She's like, he never talked to me like that. He was cussing me out, calling me all type of bitches, dumb bitches. He don't need me no more. My account is ran up and all this other stuff. I'm like, toxic. And she's like, yeah, so the baby mama was all like, bitch, that's why we eating up off your stupid ass, get the fuck out of here, da, 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 da. He was like, yeah. He started cussing her out and telling her to get out. So I'm like, he hit you? She's like, no, but he threw my stuff out the house. And I'm just like, toxic. Like, y'all, I was like, this is so sad. Y'all, no, for real, I'm smiling now, but it was so sad because, like, we already had a bad night, like, you know, and now her night got worse. She should have went home too. Like, you don't just go to somebody else's house after that happens, you know, you go home. So I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, yeah, he threw my stuff. And I'm like, where's your phone at? Because mind y'all, when I was getting close, I was trying to call her. She wasn't answering. She's like, he took my phone and threw it. I guess she said she tried to go back and talk to him. Like, after she hung up and told me to come get her, she tried to go talk to him because I did hear him in the background, like, yelling, telling him to get away from his house. She was like, and I was crying to him, telling him, like, how could he do me like this, da 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 da. She was like, and took my phone and threw it and was like, get away from here. So I'm like, girl, no. And she's like, yes, oh my God. And she said the baby mama mentioned the Adidas outfit and was like, all you got was an Adidas outfit? Why am I whispering that? She was, remember I told y'all when she was so happy about the sweatsuit he bought her. She said that the baby mama, okay, let me stop. She said the baby mama was like, all you got is a sweatsuit, we ran up accounts on you. So I'm like, oh my God. I don't know why this came to my head. I know she probably was like, bitch, why? So I'm like, how much was the check they put in your account? Yeah, I don't know why, because then she talking about they eating off you and you only got $100. I know that wasn't no $500 play. Tell me. Just know it was a few racks they put in that girl account. So I'm like, thinking to myself, you got played, you got beat up, and now you got a closed bank account and you owe the bank money. That's horrible. You know, like, I've been through some shit. But like I said, I don't play when it comes to my name. I would never let a man put nothing in my name. Put nothing in my account. A nigga couldn't even put a dog in my name. A nigga couldn't even put a damn pen in my name. I don't care if we waiting in line to get our food. Don't even give them my name. You know, tell them something else. But don't even say, oh, my name for the order. No, you cannot say me. Don't say me. I'm just like, girl, oh my God, where do you want to go? So she's like, can I come to your house? I can't go home like this. So I'm like, toxic, no. I'm like, I'm still kind of upset with you. Like, you know, like, I understand you're going through something right now, but I'm like, I just don't want to be bothered right now. Like, it's just too much. I just want to go home and stay home. And she's like, I won't be in your hair. Like, I'll go in the den or something. Like, I won't even be in your room. Like, can I just come? I can't go home like this. Please. Like, please. So, y'all, I should have just took her home. But I'm like, okay, like, you could come. I was like, but I just really don't want to talk about nothing right now. Like, I'm still shook up. So she's like, you're shook up? How would you feel if somebody just start fighting you out of your sleep? I'm like, toxic, I don't care about you getting beat up. Like, now we really getting into it again. Because I'm like, toxic, don't try to compare you getting your ass beat for messing with this man that you clearly knew was bullshit. Don't try to compare that to what just happened at Wingstop. Like, what happened at Wingstop was way worse than you getting beat up. Like, come on now. What? She like, they didn't even do nothing. Do you really think he was finna us in Wingstop? I don't know what he would have done. I don't know him. He was on something tough. Like, I could tell he was on drugs, how crazy he was acting, how his girlfriend is damn near finna cry to stop him from bothering us. And you want to tell me that you don't... Girl, maybe you should go home. So I'm like, I just feel like we need to just stay away from each other for a while. We need to just stay away from each other because, oh, where's my flashlight on? I'm like, we need to just stay away from each other for a while because I'm like, I need time. Like, I just need time. So she's like, all right, well, after today, I won't come to your house no more. I don't care. No, this is not when we finally fell out, y'all. You would think that, right? But no, I really wanted to stay away from her. She ended up coming back to my house, and she was in the den for a little bit. But y'all, she was in there just being so annoying. Like, oh my God, just being so annoying to where my grandpa is like, what's going on with your friend? You need to be there for her. And I didn't want to tell him all the shit that just went down. So I'm just like, come in my room. Come in my room. Just don't talk to me. Like, let's not talk. So I was on the phone with Stank, like, not even talking to her. And yeah, we did get into it a few times. But yeah, early in the morning, she ended up getting a ride because I was like, I'm not even taking you home. However you got here, figure out how to get home. Like, I don't want to go nowhere. I was like, I really don't want to go anywhere. Like, I don't want to go. I don't want to drive. I'm sorry. Like, I'm shook up from last night. I don't want to drive nowhere. I want to just stay in the house. So I'm like, however you got here, figure it out. But you got to go. Like, you have to leave. And like I said, no, you think that we stopped hanging out? No, we hung out more and more, and it just was worse and worse and worse. And as this is leading up to us stop being cool. But like what I was gonna say when I was like, let me finish the story. For some reason, well, not for some reason, I am a strong believer, like, God will show you signs. Like, I swear, the people he showed me signs with the most to tell me I need to leave these people alone was Toxic and Enemy. Oh my God. With Toxic, he showed me so many signs. I swear, after a while, when we start trying to get back cool, it was just so much bullshit that happened. It was just so much bullshit that happened to where it was like, you would like, why is it only happening with you? Like, I could be hanging out in the hood all day, having a good jolly old time. You know, nothing happens bad ever. Ever. With my gangbanging homegirls, nothing happened with them. Nothing happened with nobody. But when I'm with you, so much shit happens. It's always something bad. And I'll be like, we ain't even doing nothing crazy. Like, I really felt like that was God showing me signs like, girl, she's not for you. She's not for you. Get her out of your life. And I felt like with Enemy, God showed me so many signs too. And I really used to say that. I used to be like, God is showing me signs. And I just can't walk away. Like, it was so hard. But like, when you realize, you be like, nah, you gotta stop. Because I was thinking like, you know, it's starting to get crazy. It's starting to get crazy. But yeah, that's not when we stop talking. But yeah, like I said, y'all keep asking about the video. It's gonna come. Trust me, it's gonna come. It's gonna lead up. It's all of this leading up to, like, we stopped talking in 2013. And it's gonna lead up to this. Why we stopped talking. All of that is gonna come. Like, I'm just like, let me tell y'all these first. But yeah, that's the end of this video, y'all. What I want to say to y'all is, if God's showing you signs to stop dealing with somebody, stop dealing with them. Please stop, because I feel like the signs get worse. They get so bad, and it's like you don't want those signs to eventually harm you really bad to where you can't come back from that. So if you know that somebody's not meant to be in your life, stop trying to force it. No matter how much y'all got, like I said, that was my girl. Like, it's so many people that I grew up with and just have friendships with. I have so many people I grew up with. Like, my street was popping, full of kids, full of people. So many people I stayed connected with longer than others. And she was one of them people. And it was just like, I should have just let it go. You know, you have so much love for somebody, you feel like, nah, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be in my life. But it's like, nah. Her, and I have other stories about other ones. Because like I said, I would try to rekindle stuff with people and try to be cool. But it'd be like, it don't matter how much you know somebody. That does not mean nothing. So yeah, if you know you have somebody in your life, 2023, it's 2023. You don't even gotta wait. Don't say you're gonna wait till next year, because bitch, it is January something today. So don't wait till a year from now. No, cut them people off right now. Like, if you know they're not meant for you, let them go. Cut them off. Go, bye, peace out, see you later. Make your happiness happen. People will block your blessings, and stuff that's supposed to be meant for you will not happen because these people aren't supposed to be here. So you're not gonna get your blessings. So cut them off. Go about your way. Live your life, and you're gonna be happy. Trust me. But yeah, that's the end of this story. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias. Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok, and Twitter at LifeWithSymone. I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in my next video.